So now we're going to try and simplify expressions without using the algebra tiles. So recall from the algebra tiles we learned that an x squared and an x were not the same thing, and so we can't put those together. So now I'm going to just highlight all of the x squared terms that we see in this question. So we got 3x squared, and over here we have a minus x squared. Remember, it's really important that when you circle it, you also circle the sign that's in front of it, okay? And also recall that if there's no number, we put a 1 here. So what this means is we have 3x squares, take away 1x squared, and so altogether then we would have 2x squares. We are going to do the same thing with the x's. So here we have a minus 5x, and again, really important to circle that sign in front. And then over here we have a plus 7x, and we circle that. Now when we put that onto our calculator, recall that this would be a negative 5 plus a 7. So you will need to use that negative button on your calculator. And if you go negative 5 plus 7, it'll come out to be a 2. And that 2 is a positive, so we say it's plus 2x. And then the last step is to take a look at those units, or that ones that are just numbers. And here we just have a plus 2. There's nothing else to add to it. So our final answer would just be that plus 2 copied down there. Okay, let's try another one. Again, let's start off by circling all the ones that are x squares. We have 2x squared, and we have a minus 3x squared, and watch how I circled the sign in front. And if I put this on my calculator, 2 minus 3, I'm going to get a negative 1. Okay, so you can write it as negative 1x squared. You could also leave the 1 out and just say it's a negative x squared. It would mean the same thing. Let's go and do the same with the x's now. Put the x's together. We have a minus 4x, and we have a minus x, and again there's no coefficient here, so I'm just going to put a 1. So on my calculator I'm going to go negative 4 subtract 1. So don't forget, negative 4 take away 1. We're going to use that plus or minus button, okay? Or on some of your calculators you have the minus inside bracket button. So you'll press that one, then 4, take away 1, and that gives you a minus 5 or a negative 5. So we're going to go minus 5 and keep the x there. And then take a look at the units. We have a plus 1 and a plus 4. And if I add them together, 1 plus 4 is 5. It is a positive 5, so I do need to put a plus in front of it. Okay, so this would simplify to negative x squared minus 5x plus 5. And I have one more for you. Okay. Again, start off by doing the x squares. If we take a look here, slide up a bit, we just have one x squared term. If I'm going to circle it, again, there's no coefficient here, so let's put a 1 there. So this is negative 1x squared. I could also write that as just a negative x squared. It means the same thing. Then we're going to look at the x terms. So I have an x, no number in front of it. Let's put a 1. So I got 1x. I have a minus 2x. Oh, and I still have another one here. I've got a plus 3x. I got 3 x terms to put together. So on your calculator, you're going to go 1 minus 2 plus 3. And that would give you a 2. Right? 1 take away 2 is negative 1. And negative 1 plus 3 is 2. And what did we just gather? We gathered x's. So we have 2x, and this is positive, so we got to put a plus sign in between. And then the last step is to look at the units. So here I got a plus 5 and a minus 1. And 5 take away 1 is 4. Of course, it's a positive 4, so we say plus 4. Okay, so that expression simplifies to negative x squared plus 2x plus 4. I do want to encourage you to use your pencil crayons or use your highlighters to highlight the terms that are the same, and do make sure that you are putting the sign that's in front of it inside your circle or your highlight. And again, just recall that the x squares and the x's are two totally different things, as we did with our algebra tiles. So you're welcome to do those homework questions either way. You can draw out the algebra tiles to complete them, or you can do the color coding like I showed you here. Okay, I hope everyone's doing well. Good luck with your homework, and take care, everyone.